Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the Retro Cup and we are going to be trying out the Shadow Dusknoir paired with the Furret and the Pidgeot in the back. So double normals in the back. We see the Corsola and we're going to use our Furret to match up against it. They tank the move, then they swap into the Shadow Marowak. So we are boosted. They have to worry about our Trailblaze there. So we end up grabbing the shield anyways. And it looks like we get to another move. This might be significant because this is double boosted Swift. And it does end up grabbing 2 shields. We get denied, but we should be okay here. They come straight in with their Corsola. We are going to shield here because we have the Pidgeot. So this Pidgeot is looking for potential farm down. We are going to shield here because they did have residual energy. It ends up being Power Gem, so we did shield correctly. Has a decent matchup against the Marill, and we see the opposing Furret come in. They get to their Swift here, and as soon as they come in with their Marill, we fire off the Feather Dance. Isn't quite enough to KO, but now we get the farm down with our Dusknoir, and now we're going to switch in immediately and get to this Dynamic Punch for the KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the combination of our double normal backline, especially against that Corsola. Here we got a decent lead. If they shield, they definitely want to play this out, right? Because they're going to be able to shield their way through this matchup. So we're just going to match them, get the shields down. Okay, they actually go into their Furret. So we're just going to... Sorry, not the Furret. It ends up being the Licky. And then we're going to match them with our Furret after dealing a huge amount of damage. Looks like the opponent is just going to spam a ton of body slams. We're looking for the farm down. We end up getting the farm down. But because we get the farm down, this Primeape is going to struggle against our Furret because we have 2 body slams prepped. And we can combo play into the Pidgeot, snipe all their energy there. However, they end up having a Dugong in the back. Dugong is going to be pretty significant for them because they can not only survive this, but also farm us down. We decided to debuff them so that we can survive these moves, especially against our Furret. We are going to shield here, and we're looking to build up energy, then swap out, chip away with our own Dusknoir here, and GG's to our opponent. And ended up, we don't even need the Trailblaze. All we needed was the damage from the Dusknoir. So well played by us. I think the decision to kind of bank the move and come back in later was the right play because I believe Furret wins cap tie versus the Dugong. So either way, we would have been in a great shape to win that game. All right, back again here. Trying to reset here and finish off strong. We got the Shadow Dusknoir versus the Dusclops. Dusclops way more tankier than the Dusknoir, but we are way more spammier. Let's see how this plays out. We have a couple of options. We can potentially catch a move if we decide to, but it looks like we are going to stay in for now, fire off another Shadow Punch, and we're going to catch the next move. This is the Shadow Punch, and they're staying in because they wanted to farm up. We are going to be able to get to these Trailblazes now. So looks like this Furret here is already getting them into the low green. We have another Trailblaze incoming. This Trailblaze here is going to boost up our fast move attack and get them into the low red. So we're going to decide to come back in here with the Dusknoir, farm down completely, and now we have a ton of energy for whatever comes back in. Ends up being the Grumpig, so this is looking like a great situation for us as they combo play into their Dusknoir, and because they wasted all their energy here, we know that we can potentially farm down. We tank the Ice Punch. It is a non-stab move, and now we have energy on our Pidgeot with the shield versus this Grumpig. So we are going to be able to fire off this Brave Bird for the KO. So GG's to our opponent. The Grumpig in the backline ended up being very beneficial for us, especially since we have so much energy on our Dusknoir. Talonflame lead here. Gonna be interesting how we deal with this. We don't have a clear answer for this matchup. However, you can see how spammy our Dusknoir is. Very, very quick to get to these Shadow Punches, so much so that we end up grabbing the shield. We try to catch the move, but they end up saving it and going into their Gastro. This Gastro here is in a tough situation now because not only are they down a shield, but we have the ability to get to these Trailblazes, and it ends up being a one-hit KO. We unfortunately don't have any moves for that Annihilate, so we just throw the Body Slam, and now we have Pidgeot versus the Annihilate. We know that this Talonflame has a ton of energy, and it ends up being the Fly version, so now we can shield here very, very safely, and now we're going to be able to win the game with the Gust. So GG's to our opponent. Unfortunately for them, they kind of ran into a little bit of a core breaker, especially since the Annihilate didn't really want to see the Dusknoir, and we are so quick to get to our moves against that Talonflame. Pretty decent lead here. We go into the Furret versus their Blastoise. Pretty solid matchup for us here. We're just going to one shield and go for this Trailblaze. Is not going to KO. Oh, they actually shield. So this is going to help us even further, as now we just have to spam Swifts. Okay, looks like our opponent is going to double shield and throw their Hydro. They end up having double Hydro, so we did call that bait. Could have been Skull Bash. And then they just swap out immediately into their Trevenant. So Trevenant here is not going to look forward to this Dusknoir. We are going to take the move, go straight into our Pidgeot, and Pidgeot is going to be a core breaker. Potential Stone Edge, so we do shield. They actually just have the Rock Slide, and that's a full farm down right there. And we're going to be able to get to this Brave Bird to KO the Blastoise. So GG's to our opponent. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.